Alright, what up, dudes? It's Sean. We're back at my favorite knife site, Gpknives. Sweet place to come hang out. Let's hang out with the big brown guys. Check out some blades. As you know, where you want to go. New section. Let's go here. Check it out. Alright, what do we have that's new? You know, I was just about to scroll down past this. Yeah, I was give it a check out. I'm curious what the steel is on that. What do we got? 1095. This is a blade on that, huh? Let's see. 3.12. Yeah, not bad. You know, I like the green canvas micarta on there. You know, you usually don't see that on a traditional knife. Yeah, it's just a very like ho-hum knife right there. I like how they have the sharpening notch right there. That's top tier. Not really something I'm really interested in. I realize Great Eastern Cutlery, they're definitely like the top tier of this kind of market with slip joint or kind of old-timey lockbacks and stuff. So that's pretty cool. And good old 1095. I don't know what the hardness is, but yeah, it's definitely a pretty cool, no nonsense ho-hum knife. Let's get out of here. Let's see what else is here. What the? Oh my god. M390. 452 and M390. What? This is blue. What's blue? Oh. Oh, look at that, dude. Oh, dude, they're doing the custom ammo on there. That's titanium right there if you don't know. If you don't know about this knife, basically it's like that ZTO 450, but bigger. This blade is about as big as those Pucos that you see me using in my videos. Definitely a very impressive knife. You know, it usually comes at S35VN, which is definitely not a bad steel. It's an awesome steel for sure, but oh man, could you imagine this thing in M390? Oh, that'd be intense, man. That's pretty sick. Definitely a it's going to be a top tier price for sure, but you know, you're getting a sweet anno and you're getting M390 on there, so that's pretty rad. This knife already pretty expensive too. Like I think, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, it's like 220 or 240 or whatnot, and you're just going to pay like 20 bucks more for that. You know, not something I'm probably going to pick up, but it is very cool that ZT is putting some limited runs out there. That's awesome. They have the ZDP 189. So that's cool, man. I feel like this is kind of what this knife needed, and it needed to be supercharged up with some M390. That's awesome. Alright, let's check out what else is new. Ooh, yeah, the Reich knives. These are cool right here. You know, I'm not a big Tonto fan, but hear me out. Let's check this out. It's discontinued now. Oh, snap. Yeah, these things were expensive, dudes. I mean, I know what you guys are thinking out there. 260 is nothing to scoff at, and I am totally not a Tonto fan, but I checked out this one guy's videos, Birdshot. He's a cool dude, man. He's got a bunch of folding knives. He's all about folding knives, and yeah, he had a sweet review on this knife right here. I didn't realize until I watched their review that the reason why the Tonto version costs more than the drop point version is because this one has 204p. So CTS 204p, which is basically the same as, yeah, there it is. It's the same as like your M390. And look at the size dimensions on this blade. This thing's massive, dude. Look at that, just under 4 inches overall length of close to 9. Yet the weight on there is 410 ounces. Yep, made in China. That's how they're able to get you at this price. But you know what? They're definitely stepping their game up. It's be afraid, be very afraid. Look at this. Just impressive, man. You see the milling on that? Oh, look at that deep carry pocket clip. Beautiful anodized titanium. We got just an awesome flipper on there. I mean, just look at that. There's nothing you can buy for that price that's going to have that excellent of a fit and finish. Look at that. Those aren't thumb studs. Those are actually blade stops. It's a flipper action on there. Oh man. Yeah, just impressive. Just definitely impressive. One day. What a beauty. That's a good price too. Yeah, they're DCing this one. It was $350, now it's $260. Yeah, that's awesome. That'll probably go pretty quick. There we go. We got a Spyderco Chicago. BD1. Talk about a very non-threatening knife. Yeah. I'm sure if governments across the world could have their way, they would have us all carry a knife like this if we were allowed to carry a knife. And you know, there's nothing wrong with a knife this small, but man, just the cutting power of a bigger knife is definitely awesome. But, you know, for some things, it is kind of cool. It's like 1.5, 2-inch blade length, 1.5 inches of cutting. Yeah, it's not bad at all. BD1 too. BD1 that's a pretty cool steel. Oh man, I love the wire clip on there too. Yeah, it might be a cool knife. I got a friend who's really into like really small knives, and this might be the perfect knife for him. You guys ever do that? You ever look at knives and you're like, oh man, that'd be perfect for my friend. You know, that's everything he wants. Yeah, sometimes I do that. New Kershaw, meh, just a total meh. I mean, the price is good. I mean, if you're looking for a budget knife, you know, this is probably going to perform really good. I think it's just a design aspect here. Those lines or whatnot that flow into the blade. Oh man, it looks like really bad 1970s art, like gym wall art. You know what I'm talking about. Not a fan of that. The pocket clip, yeah, I don't like the pocket clip either. It's not deep carry, and that's not the only reason why I don't like it, but you see how that lip right there is up, and it doesn't look like it carries too deep in your pocket either, as far as the length of the clip itself. By having that lip up right there, it's easy for that to catch on stuff when you walk by, and you know, I'm a pretty big guy, and so if it catches on stuff, you know, sometimes I'm always just catching stuff when I'm walking by things. It's nice to have that front lip down, is what I'm saying. So let's go through here. 4.3, 4CR. Ooh, yikes. So that's basically your, you get a 420HC. It's a Chinese 420HC. So not the standard 8CR 13 MOV on there. But hey, I mean, it's $17. It's probably going to be a great knife if it's going to be your first knife or something like that, and you don't want to break the bank. Then yeah, sure, it's going to work. Funny enough, look what we have right underneath that. Check that out. I like the bronze. So, believe it or not, you know, when it comes to the unique graphics, I think this is pretty cool because it's like milled in. So, it's like dimpling. Looks like it probably has a cool texture to it if you were to feel it. I'd be interested to know what this one feels like in the hand. Yeah, pretty cool. But, again, just a little too gaudy. I think I'd prefer something like some checkering on there. Yeah, I'd love to get a Sabenza one day. You know, it's kind of like a knife journey for sure. Looks like we got the Les George S35VN. Little chunky little dude. You know, this one's not too. This knife's a little on the eyes, if I'm honest with you guys. I mean, I'm not like, it doesn't quite draw me, but I'm sure this is one of those knives that, like, in your hand. So let's check it out. Yeah, in your hand, this is probably a really sweet knife for sure. Check that out. Yeah, just interesting. I'm sure that feels awesome in the hands, though. It's like only small ZT knife, though. Let me check the weight on that. Let's go back here. Just curious. Probably like 4.3. We got under a 3-inch blade. So yeah, I think it's the smallest knife in the ZT line. Manandi, got another Great Eastern Cutlery. Oh, we got the Cider Tac Ops Elite. You know, when I was first getting into knives, like when I'd look at knives when I was a younger man, like 18 and stuff like that, man, I just thought that these cord wrap strider knives were the coolest looking knives ever. And then the camouflage on the blades. Now, whenever I look at them, I just think of something like a Cold Steel GI Tonto or just something cheap. I mean, they're kind of cheesy or whatnot, but if you're a huge fan of the strider stuff, then yeah. Not trying to insult you or offend you, but yeah, my opinion, just not that into them. What's the steel? Oh, the steel on there, that's actually a pretty good steel. I've been hearing a lot about this steel. It's PSF 27 tool steel, spray foam. So people have been really raving about this steel. It says it right there. The result is D2 with better edge holding and toughness than Cast D2. So basically, people have been saying that, man, the edge that this takes, if you love just like a nice polished toothy edge, that this steel is just impressive. That spray foam process really results in a really cool carbide shape. It really seems to take a very aggressive edge. But I've never gotten my hands on it. I'm just spouting nonsense that I've read from other people, so pop out of here. Homefront. I've actually checked this knife out in the store, and CRKT has definitely stepped up their fit and finish for sure. I think that the only thing they dropped the ball on is, one, they didn't sharpen the edge all the way back to the plunge. That's a huge it's a huge ding for someone like me that loves to sharpen my knife. And the next one, it's yes, it could be a drawback, but I could see where probably Ken was going for when he was designing this knife. But the Oz 8 steel, I think that this knife should have benefited from something like a 154 CM, or maybe something mid-range, or just going straight for something like S30V. I think would be awesome. But I realized that when Ken was probably making this knife with this field strip technology, he was probably wanting something that you can maintain yourself easily in the field, taking down, stripping it down, cleaning it. And something like Oz 8 is definitely going to sharpen. It's going to be one of the best sharpening stainless steels, but it is definitely a budget stainless steel, and this knife is priced out of a budget range. I mean, it's definitely it's like an $80 knife, so it's competing with knives that have VG10 or 154, and it's not all about the steel, but definitely, I don't want to be sharpening all the time. I mean, I do like Oz 8, don't get me wrong, but if I'm going to be paying that much more for a knife, I would like a knife that maybe has just a little bit more edge holding, even though, Oz 8 is good stuff, but if I'm paying more, I want more. But the field strip technology is really cool, and when I took it down in the store, I broke it down. It definitely had a quality feel to it. Everything felt really solid and robust. Even though it was running on Teflon too, the flipping action was great. So nothing but good stuff to say. It definitely seems like they've really stepped up their fit and finish for this knife, which is awesome. That's really where your money's going into this knife. It's not just some cheap gimmicky thing. I mean, it was kind of gimmicky when I first saw it, but getting this knife in your hand, it's just a big, beefy feeling folder that you can take apart, which is pretty cool. And when I was on a wildfire deployment, I mean, everything just dusty and dirty and grimy, and it would be cool to just be able to just take your knife apart. So I think this is going to be a great knife for a user, maybe somebody that's in the field doing a job or whatnot, and you're out in the middle of nowhere and you don't really have access to a clean place to sit there and clean your knife, and so you could just take it apart, wash your hands, wash your knife, and put everything back together, and you're good to go. So very cool design concept. I think this is really going to be the beginning of something that we're maybe going to see from CRKT. Maybe they'll come out with other knives, maybe more premium knives that have higher end steel with this feature. But really, I can see why maybe they went with this Oz 8, in that it's really kind of a user knife, and it's designed for somebody that wants fast sharpening, and maybe you could sharpen it on your car window, or maybe the bottom of your coffee mug. I mean, Oz 8 is just going to sharpen much quicker. I mean, S30V might be I mean, honestly, it's not that big of a deal, especially if you have a little pocket stone, but really, it seems like a majority of people seem to have a hard time with it, but I don't see why, from my personal experience. But this is coming from somebody that I sharpen a lot of knives. It's my interest, versus somebody that just knife is a means to an end. I could see that the Oz 8 would sharpen much faster. All right, so just kind of browsing through what's new here on the GP. There's more knives, but we'll check every once in a while. We'll see what's new on GP, and yeah, this will just be kind of like a serious thing. All right, guys, thanks for watching my channel. Later.